for science!
Welcome everybody to another Deck Tech with me, Willie Dills, and Lane the Main. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Man, I'm having so much fun playing this new core set standard. Normally core sets don't affect standard this much, and holy crap, this one has.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, and there's a lot of decks to discover, and there's also just existing archetypes that have a couple of cards thrown in, and that's kind of what we're going over today. So today's deck we're going to talk about is the new M20 core set Selesnya Tokens deck, and we've got a couple of cards that were added to a pretty strong archetype. Guilds of Ravnica. I drafted this archetype a lot of times during that set, and it's got a lot of cool stuff going on.
I feel like you combined two decks. You took the green-white tokens, like the token making shell.
Mm-hmm.
You took the mono white shell, and you made a baby.
Sure.
And this is that baby.
Yeah. But we don't have what's the something multitudes card, right?
You don't have March of the Multitudes.
March of the Multitudes.
You don't have Amara, but you have some of the cards that we'll go over in a minute that really took that token strategy and then that took that mono white strategy and just their best parts and just put it together.
Sure. So let's go over the deck list. By the way, before we actually start going over the actual list, you brought up that this is in paper a less than $100 deck. So this is a pretty budget deck. So if you're somebody who doesn't buy a lot of packs, doesn't spend a lot of money in the Magic the Gathering arena, this is a deck you could build fairly easily, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's under $100, and the reason why too is a lot of the cards dip down in price before the standard rotation.
That's
it's late September, early October this year. So a lot of them are cheap, but a lot of the cards you may have already. If you have Temple Gardens, then that's about a third or fourth of the deck price already.
Yeah, so I actually was able to build this with, I don't think I had any problems. I just clicked the list, and it was in there. And then one of the major cards we're adding is an uncommon. So,
and a common with Raise the Alarm.
Yeah, pretty simple to actually get these in. Yeah, there's an M20 Raise the Alarm. So, yeah, outside of the sideboard where there's a Shifting Ceratops. Shifting Ceratops. It's a Shifting Ceratops. There's usually a try in front of that, and it's screwing me up. But the Shifting Ceratops is a 2-of in your sideboard, and those are rares. But you don't even really need those if you want to just play best of ones. So
I was gonna say I know the usual question for people that does these things is can you, if you don't have the Shifting Ceratops, can you switch something else? That's the one thing in the deck that I would say yeah, maybe a Ripjaw Raptor or the Nullhide Feryx is another one I've been seeing people have from the later sets, if you don't want to buy a lot of the new core set.
Mm-hmm.
But the main board, the main deck itself, the main 60, it's pretty a lot of commons, some rares,
it's pretty cheap. So let's go over it. We got Dauntless Bodyguard. This is a 1-drop 2/1. What's the deal? Why is this in this deck? It's kind of a weird card here, but
it protects our Woodland Champion and our Benalish Marshal, which we're going to go over.
Sure.
And it gets, because it's a knight, it gets that buff from History of Benalia as well at the end.
Yeah, it's a knight, and it's also just a 1-drop. So let's start getting the chip damage in right away, right? So
yep.
Then we've got Legion's Landing, which is the legendary enchantment that will then transform into a land while creating tokens. Look at that, cool. 1-drop. When you enter the battlefield with it, it will drop a 1/1 white vampire creature token that does also have lifelink. And then when you attack with 3 or more creatures, this will turn into the Adonto the First Fort legendary land, which allows you to pay 3 and tap it to create tokens down the road. So pretty sweet.
Well, what's really good about this is it's a combat trick. Same with Raise the Alarm. If you don't know what a combat trick is, it affects combat. So what happens is with Woodland Champion, it gets a +1/+1 counter whenever a token enters the battlefield. So if you're in combat and they just don't see your land, you can make the token so your Woodland Champion gets...
You can buff your Woodland Champion mid-combat. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Token, yeah.
Let me ask about the legendary rule, though, because if people aren't aware in Magic, the legendary rule is that you can only have one legendary of that name on the battlefield. What happens when this becomes a legendary land? Does the Legion's Landing become kind of a dead card at that point?
So if you have the Legion's Landing enchantment and you have the Adonto First Fort as your land, if the Legion's Landing would ever get flipped into the land, you would have to pick one of those lands.
Yeah.
So what normally people do is, like, you're playing it knowing that it's going to flip into it, is you float that mana before.
Okay.
And you try to use that mana from the...
so you tap the first Undanto, then you destroy that one when you replace it with the second one?
Correct, yeah.
Oh, okay. Got it. So it's still... Because when I looked at it, I was like, running 4 of these, I understand it's an important card. So you want to run 4 just to make sure you get it. But it's also a card that, at a certain point... Like, I run into this with... what's the angel? Aurelia?
Yeah, the 4-drop.
Yeah, like you want it so badly, but then once you have it, if you draw another one, you're like, uh-oh. I got kind of a dead card in my hand, but it's still it's worth it just to make sure you get that card, right?
Yeah, because some strategies like just having the 1/1 lifelink vampire like from the Adanto.
Sure.
But since we're such a token forward strategy, I think 4 of is the right call here.
Well, plus it's essentially 1 mana 1/1 when you play it too, right? Like you instantly get value. Yeah.
Get it out.
All right, we also have Flower Flourish. So this can be used later on in the game to buff your creatures and get your damage in. But also you can use it early on just to find the land you need to
I don't know if this deck would exist without this card.
Okay.
Because there's so many hands in this deck since our curve is so low. Like if you look, it's 3. There we have a 5-drop, but we're never paying 5 mana.
No.
That you would keep like a 1-lander with a flower.
Interesting.
Most of your times, just because you know you're going to get that second land.
Getting to the second or third land is kind of like really where we need to be, right?
Correct. Yeah, and having that late in the game just for that 6 is game win.
It's like, look, I just win the game right now. I bloodlust you. All right, we got Raise the Alarm, 2 mana, create 2 tokens. Pretty self-explanatory.
Instant speed. That's why
instant speed too. Yeah, you can create blockers with them. Yeah, pretty nice.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, you can save these, do them on your end or the opponent's end step, so that when they come in, they're protected. You make sure you get them to be able to attack with them. Saproling Migration, 2 mana with a kicker. Create 2 Saproling creature tokens. This is at sorcery speed, but if you kick it, you pay 6 for it. You get 4 tokens instead. How often are we kicking this card?
I've never kicked the card before.
We're not worried about kicking it. Okay. It's just basically 2 mana, create 2 1/1s, right?
Correct.
All right. Woodland Champion. This is one of the new cards. This is kind of I think a pretty cool and core piece now to this strategy.
The only reason it's green. Because you would just like to do white, but this adding the green is that powerful.
Sure. So 2 mana, 2/2. Whenever 1 or more tokens enter the battlefield under your control, put that many 1/1 counters on Woodland Champion. And those are not this turn. Those are just
permanent.
Permanent buffs. Yeah. And you are going to be adding tokens to the board. So
a lot.
Yeah. Play this on 2, play a Saproling or a Raise the Alarm on 3. All of a sudden you got a 4/4. Benalish Marshal. This is a 3. So the 3 white is a little tricky about this guy. He's also a knight, but you put him into play and then you got
deck that doesn't tap for white.
Sure.
And that's why we're very like the white mana forward.
That's true. Yeah, we also run 10 plains over 2 forests. So, but yeah, this is basically buff all my dudes with a dude. Ayo.
Easy.
History of Benalia. This card's been around for a while. This is also one of the rotating cards, right?
Yeah, this is a rotating card, and this for me has been my background on my phone since the card came out. I think this card
it's pretty cool.
I think this card is just what I think is a good standard power level card.
So you get, essentially for 3 mana, you'll get overall 2/2/2 knights with vigilance. And if those knights or any other knights happen to be on the board when you get to the 3rd turn with Benalia on board, they will also get +2/+1 until the end of that turn. So yeah, pretty sweet card. You'll see this in a lot of decks, and you'll see it in a lot of drafts as well. People love this card. Then we've got a couple of our kind of utility cards here. Conclave Tribunal is basically our only removal, right?
In our main deck, yeah.
Yeah. So this is a Convoke card, which means you can tap untapped creatures to cast it, as well as tapping your mana. So you just exile any non-land permanent until it leaves.
Yeah, like you're making so many tokens, and since they have summoning sickness, you just don't care to convoke them out the first turn.
That's true.
So you're getting guys and using them the turn they came out to use this Conclave.
That's true. Yeah, you could basically like play this and then instantly enchant something with those summoning sickness tokens. So then we got Venerated Loxodon, another convoke card. This is a 4/4 that never costs actual 5.
Never.
But you could pay 5 if you wanted to. But when it enters the battlefield, all the creatures that convoked it get that 1/1. That's why you wouldn't pay 5 for it, by the way, because you don't want to not convoke it, right? You need to convoke things to buff them. So
it's like it's better to not pay 5.
yeah, right.
Like you're getting so much more. You're usually like either paying 1 mana or 0 mana and tapping 5 creatures with this.
Sure.
This is the normal for this card.
Yeah, and then you just end up with a bunch of little buff dudes and an elephant. All right, then we've got our plains, and then the only rare lands, we've got the Sunpetal Groves and the Temple Gardens. So these are the pay 2 life to enter untapped, and then these enter untapped as long as you have forest and plains. These are all sweet. Let's go to the sideboard.
Yeah.
3 Demystifies. We need to be able to destroy enchantments.
Well, like opponents' Conclave Tribunals, Ixalan Bindings, their History of Benalias.
Yeah.
There's a lot of search for Esconta.
So you in a mirror match, you would want to put the Demystifies in, huh?
Mono blue is coming back.
Yeah.
I know you and I have talked about that before. The mono blue.
Yeah, we're actually going to have to make a deck take on that one pretty soon.
That hitting their Curious Obsessions and stuff. Demystify has been really powerful lately
and it's cheap. And it's instant.
So cheap.
Yeah. Then we've got 3 Baffling Ends, which cost 2 mana. And what are we using these for? I'm guessing just big creatures?
Well, yeah.
3 or less creatures. Yeah,
like Still Leaf Champion. But what's good about this card is even if they get rid of the enchantment, they don't get their creature back anymore. So they just get
that's true. They get the 3/3, right? Yeah.
So yeah, I usually like hitting like the Wild Growth Walker and the Explore creatures with this.
Okay.
Jade Light or Merfolk Branch Walker, because if they're usually playing Wild Growth Walker, it's into other things.
Yeah, and actually in white and green, removal is a little bit hard to come by, so you do kind of have to just grab what you can, right?
Especially at this mana cost, yes.
Yeah, sure. Kraul Harpooner, which is also essentially removal. We've got 4 options for this guy. And Kraul Harpooner is, in the past, has just been kind of my way to deal with flyers most of the time.
Spirits are everywhere right now.
Sure.
Like you see a lot of spirits, and this just deals with that in mono blue very well.
So, creature cards in our graveyard, is that a problem for us since we make so many tokens?
That's never became a problem because where like the Flyers decks right now are like toughness 1, toughness 2. You never need more than like the power it already has.
Okay. 1 Sorcerous Spyglass, which we were talking about. This is a way to deal with planeswalkers, and also it's kind of like your colorless duress kind of thing, right? It's just like I need a way to mess with your combo pieces and your planeswalkers.
Yeah, we just get to look at their hand, and then just knowing that, and there's so many planeswalkers right now that this matters.
Then we've got a couple Ixalan's Bindings. You just talked about these earlier. These are also enchantments that allow us to remove things. And also, it turns off the ability to even cast another one of those things, right? So, pretty powerful. And then this is a card you were saying is super core as a sideboard card. So why would the Shifting Ceratops be so important?
If you can't get it, like if there's a reason, there is some other stuff, but can't be countered in protection from blue. That means they can't, with their 3 mana to fairies, they can't bounce it back to your hand. They can't counter it. They can't block with blue creatures. And then being able to, even if you have to give this haste or can give it haste, this card is usually, because this deck, at our main deck, we're going so wide. We're making so many tokens. We're trying to go around them. This creature doesn't do that. It just beats them in the head.
It's just 5 damage a turn against the blue decks. Yeah. Now, I'm not seeing a lot of Nexus of Fate decks at my rank. Are you seeing a lot of Nexus of Fate decks?
I'm seeing a lot of Nexus of Fate decks.
Okay. I know that there's been some people who have still been... People are winning tournaments with it, like the Mythic Opens or whatever, the Mythic Championships and stuff. And so, yeah, I imagine it's pretty popular up at the top levels. All right, let's get into some games. We're going to go play ourselves some best of ones here. See if we can get a game where we actually get to see the deck in action. Go ahead and select the right deck. And then we'll try to show off that sideboard as well. I am currently in the silvers, I think. So we should get a wide range of noobs.
Perfect.
Yeah. Mostly the way I've been playing lately is messing with a different deck every day, which is why it's been a slower climb this month, but also it's pretty early for me. And also I have basically been logging off as soon as my quests are done. I'm just trying to like generate gold All right. So you were saying that 2 land hands can be okay if we have the flower, right?
Yeah, the only problem with this hand is that you can cast 1 card in it.
Yeah. Yeah, the problem is, like, if we had a green, I would love it because we have these 2 drops. So I think we're going to go ahead and mulligan this, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh. Whoops.
Never mind, that's fine too.
That's the wrong button. I don't know why in my head I was thinking, ooh, they got ramped out too. This might be a throwaway game. By the way, I played some Commander this last weekend with my new Muldrotha deck.
Have fun?
I won the first game, although it was only a 3-person game. In the second game, we played with 5 people, and one of them had never played Magic before. And they jumped into a 5-person Commander game as their like first experience of playing Magic.
I like it.
And
what a ballsy
we didn't
move.
even get to finish the game because the table was like reserved at 7:30.
Oh yeah.
So we ended up having to just call it. But we ended up giving all right. We ended up giving her the victory. She had the most life. I'm not making any attacks, am I?
No. You could because they're not going to open. Yeah, I would attack.
They don't actually want to block with either of these, do they?
Yeah, they're not going to block.
All right, yeah, let's get that damage in. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. My Muldrotha deck is pretty sweet, although I have kind of a budget version. If I were to really, really go for it, I could put some really powerful stuff in there.
Well, I would never tell anyone to like buy the full deck and then not try to like. It's fun to upgrade along the way.
Sure. This card is cool, by the way. Kiora?
Oh yeah, it's very fun. I'm trying to figure out what they are. They may be what we call a Flood of Tears deck, which is new, but we'll have to see when more is on.
But yeah, you can like, if let's say you get like a Gilded Lotus or something like that in Commander.
Yeah.
Tap it for 3, untap it, tap it again for 3 more.
One drop ripples and
So do they want to play a 2-drop? Wow, they will.
They're just getting all the mana.
I
Well, as long as
think
we
this
get
is
to
one where
go
our hand
wide, I
on
think we'll be okay. So we just need to find a green, and I think we'll be all right.
Even if we don't, we have a history. Like we have. I think this game, if you can cast History of Benalia into.
Do we want to conclave this though?
No.
You sure?
Because with you want to play History of Benalia just to put on like we can attack into it.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. All
But
right,
I think with History of Benalia, because remember your Dauntless Bodyguard is a knight as well.
Yeah, that's true. All
Like
right,
that's the big thing.
Let's knock it down a little bit.
I've got that
And then we'll go ahead.
There's also an argument there for just going face because we're going to be
because
putting
we're
out,
trying to win by going face. Yeah.
Yeah, we have so much damage here.
I mean, yeah. The thing that concerns me is just the drawing of the cards. The untapping, I'm not so concerned with.
I'm the opposite.
Yeah.
I'm the like that's ramped to me.
Sure, but they're already ramped. Like, I don't know.
If they cast Flood of Tears, maybe Nissa would be one thing I'm going to be really scared of.
Yeah, because they essentially have access to 6 mana this turn, even before they drop a land. Before ever dropping a land, 6 mana.
They can play a Hydroid Crisis, which is another thing.
Oh yeah, they're the blue green. Yeah,
that'd be another good
so
Conclave.
it would be a 4/4 flyer that would draw them 2 cards and gain 2 life. That'd be a thing. They could also just have disconnected and we win.
That's also a way to win.
Ah, boo! They're back. They're growth spiraling us again. You don't have enough land, huh?
Well, what's telling me is they have nothing. Like they have
that's a
their
good point,
mana
yeah.
but they don't have something to do with it.
By the way, they didn't even throw land onto the field from it. So
yeah, we call it a mana dump, like something to dump. Like if you ramp, what are you going to do with it?
Mm-hmm. Okay, there's the Nissa. So they can turn one of their lands into a 3/3.
Yep.
And it also has vigilance and haste.
Yep.
And also they get double mana for their force now. This would be probably worth a conclave, don't you think?
Well, we'll see what we draw next turn, but I have close to the answer.
The land
So
fights for us.
I feel like that scares me, but maybe I'm just being a bit.
Oh no, it definitely scares me. but a way to deal with it, we'll see.
Okay.
Because we may have a...
Hey, forest.
So what so do that.
Are we gonna maybe just do these two?
I was gonna do... So here's what I was thinking.
Because we could do these two and Conclave, right?
Yeah, I think that'd be good.
Okay. So, Woodland Champion first.
And a tap because
we actually only have the one green. We can't
That's
do both
fine.
of them.
I would still Conclave.
We're still gonna do this, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna tap down our Woodland Champion and our new knight, which is this one.
Yeah.
Okay. So, do we click them first?
No, it shows it as a cost.
I actually haven't cast a Convoke spell on MTGA in a long time, so I cast this first.
Yep, just cast it like that, and it'll ask you how you want to pay mana for it.
Okay. All right, so I do this one, and this one, and this one, and this
And one of the rules of Convoke that we didn't really talk about too is it has to be, it produces a colorless if it's not the same color. So if we only had green spells right there, Convoke is to the mana color. So since we had white and green,
one mana of that creature's color. Got it. Yeah. Okay. So we can't attack into this 3.
Well, yeah, and we don't really need.
But next turn,
yeah,
these will be +2/+1.
Plus, more than likely, next turn we're going to do History of Benalia with Saproling Migration, and Woodland Champion's going to be. Everything's going to be big on our turn. Incubation Druid. And they have enough already to adapt it.
Yeah.
Which I think
is pretty crazy, right? But they can't tap it this turn, right?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, so they can put the mana into
still
it.
The summoning sickness. Yeah.
Damage.
My opponent is running out of cards, which is good. And we've got, if we get one more green, or one more white, actually. We actually even have it. Yeah, next turn we can do both of these. Next turn is pretty dope. Because...
The resolves to you, just giving you a heads up.
Sorry. Because Woodland gets real big.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot. And this is where, like, Benalish Marshal or, like, a history... Wow, they're just going for it.
Okay.
Wow, that's crazy. That's a ballsy play on my... That's a bold move, Cotton.
All right. Ooh, so many histories. We're just gonna do the thing.
Yeah, just do the thing.
All right. Not kicked.
Yeah, this should be fine.
And another history. Whee! All right. So.
Attack everything. I would just
go swing in with the team.
Yeah, at the face.
So the Incubation Druid can block one of these 4/3s for free.
Which is fine because we're going to be like doing it again with another History of Benalia, and we have another History of Benalia.
Paradise Druid can block our Dauntless Bodyguard.
If I were them, that would be another play. They may just also want to get Woodland Champion off the board until like, because it's getting
true. If they double block Woodland Champion, are we going to Dauntless Bodyguard it?
Oh no, I think it's just fine.
We just let it happen?
Yeah,
it's only going to kill the Druid, right?
Yeah, we let it get rid of the Incubation Druid, and that's what we call in the game like a time walk effect, because you basically like they did nothing with their turn other than play an Incubation Druid, pump into it, and then we just killed it.
Okay.
So like that.
So by the way, Enchantment Saga, we can have both of these on the field at the same time, right? They don't count as like legendary stuff. So I know that they counted as historic. Remember the thing where when you cast historic spells, you'd like draw a card or whatever?
Yep, Saga. It's Saga, Artifact, and Legendary permanents.
Oh, interesting.
Oh,
okay. I was gonna say like that makes more sense. So what we could do is we could just sack this to save this, right?
No, because Dauntless Bodyguard is when it enters the battlefield, and since we played it on turn 1, it didn't target anything.
Oh, it wasn't. Yeah, it had to have targeted it. Yeah, it's not just sack it whenever you want.
But which is fine. They still take 9 here, and then we still our board is still like,
and we have a growing boy over here.
Yeah. So it's going to be next turn. It's going to be a 7/7 at least.
Yeah.
Because the history on the board and the history.
This one will send one in. This one will send one in. Yeah, that's true. And then if we draw any other token creation.
This is where think of like also if you get like a Benalish Marshal here,
Okay.
like that would be like a big play. Like we have a lot of, but so do they. Blue green has been a very
Let's get
popular
moving.
archetype right now.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of it. I've also been seeing a lot of mono red, which I'm not sure what the new card is in the mono red.
Oh, I don't think there is one.
Mind if I take
I think it's
They just
octopus for a
played one and killed the other one. But they get to activate it again, right?
Look at that big old Hydra.
Mm-hmm. That's a thing. Luckily, we have lots of
I'd
things,
love to make a splash.
Hmm.
but that's, yeah,
Does it have trample right?
it
Yeah.
does, yeah.
This is not a typical card you see. So I'm
Oh,
wondering.
now I get, okay, so wait a minute. So,
So yeah, it gets loyalty when a planeswalker enters. So what we're gonna do here is next turn we're gonna attack
Interesting.
and we're gonna go around them.
next turn? Not this
Yeah.
turn?
Correct, because our History of Benalia that's on the battlefield will give all of our knights. So
Oh,
yeah,
that's true.
that-
So we're going to play this non-kicked,
correct.
and then we're going to play another history.
Yep, because we get a knight out of this, pumps our Woodland Champion, and that the knight we're getting now also gets pumped next turn.
But
So
we're not
no
doing any
attack.
attacks this turn, right?
No, and now they're scared to attack in with their Hydra because we can just like throw our champion and 2 Saprolings into it.
Mm-hmm.
But I would maybe just take the Hydra if they did attack.
Yeah, I think we can afford the 11 right now. Especially if
One
we can
drop
attack,
ripples
because
and
I don't think they're even
grows.
going to want to attack, right? Because of,
No. So look, our Woodland Champion is a 2 mana,
mm-hmm.
and it's almost as big as their 5 mana Hydra.
That's pretty sick.
Deck. Yeah, it's just like if it goes in the right shell, Woodland Champion by itself would be bad if it's not in a token deck. But since we put it in a
Oh,
shell,
they're
like
tapping down the Llanowar. They got 2. They got 2 floating.
this is
What you
a
doing?
Nissa. It could be a Flood of Tears, a River's Rebuke.
Could be another Hydra.
I was gonna say Hydra or a Hydroid Krasis.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Woo!
Yep.
They're even tapping the 3/3.
This makes me think they're doing something to the board.
That's 7 mana. You can also add, what does this add? 3?
3 of any land that you could produce.
So you get to 10?
Oh,
They're
my
at
lord.
10. What you got there, Chef? Chef?
What?
What are you up to?
I
I mean, if
honestly-
you tap 10 mana,
If they bounce our board, I think they win the game. Oh, well. Yeah, okay. Oh, and they fight our Woodland Champion.
but it's an 8/9.
Yeah, so we would still.
So they don't.
fight the
They
knight
fight
to-
something else. Yeah.
Okay, let's do math here.
Yeah, if we swing with the team, do we win? I think
think we-
so.
yeah,
they only
we
have
do.
2 blockers.
Yeah. Yeah, we do. Ooh. Oh, we don't. We're in
We
one
don't have
mana
enough
lane.
mana for it.
I was gonna say like, oh, then we're definitely gonna win.
Yeah.
I
But
forgot about that.
we do win, right? Because
Oh, yeah, we
they
definitely
can only
win,
block that one, and then all of these guys, only this has Summoning Sickness. So that's
Yep.
12 right there. That's, yeah, let's go. Let's go, baby.
And if you remember, we kept a 1-lander.
No, 2
Or
lander, but 2 white.
Was it 2 white and it
There's
only
2
could
white. We
cast-
had 2 green cards in. We had 2 green cards in the hand as well.
This deck worked out. This was good.
Yeah, they went tall. We went wide.
And that's what we talked about during the deck tech is like that's what the deck tries to do is like crap out all these little duders and then try to like at the last minute try to pump them to
Sure.
try to run around you.
All right. Well, let's check out a best of 3 here.
Ooh, go low skates.
Let's just play Golos Gates instead.
I've been running updated versions. I've been doing a lot of go low.
You got a new version, huh? I really want to make a Golos commander deck. This hand is ass.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Why 3 of these?
There
Hand
we
is
go.
Better. We
Lot
also have the
better.
flower too. All right, so
Legion's landing here.
got the Legion's landing.
Yeah, because the only time we would need to is if we need that land. If we would need that land
I
as
mean,
well.
we're
From
gonna
the
be able to play it though. Oh, we
Huh?
have 2.
Yeah.
I forgot that we had.
That's the only reason, since we have to.
Why does it put my lands on the right now?
I don't want to talk about it. It's the biggest complaint everyone's talking about.
It's triggering me. Whatever I do here, I would like to do something right away. So I'm gonna just pay the life and do this.
Yeah, I would do Legion's Landing here.
Yeah. Like
So
I want to get going.
I would do Legion's Landing into either a Saproling Migration or a Raise the Alarm next turn.
You know what's kind of cool? When you Temple Garden out of Legion's Landing, you instantly get one of those life back anyway.
Yeah, whenever.
Ascanta. All right. We're going to raise the alarm.
I would Saproling Migration since it's a sorcery and they're not really
that's a good point. That is a good point.
And what would be really good here is if next turn we get the land for Benalish Marshal. If not, we can just get it from Flower.
Mm-hmm. I forget that one's a sorcery, one's a...
Yeah, that's a big thing. I was on a
makes...
podcast called the Destroy Target Permanent podcast, and Raise the Alarm was in like my top 5 new cards.
Mm.
It's a reprint of an old card, but I've always just liked the cards. Is this Cry the Carnarian? Because this is more than likely Esper Hero, which is one of the top decks into the last...
Yeah, actually, we didn't we play that?
Yeah, we did. I think it was our first one. Oh, it's Thief of Sanity.
Thief of Sanity. My man.
So I think it's Flower here.
Yeah, we're definitely going to Flower.
And then we play the land. We get the plains so we can play our Benalish Marshal.
Yeah, we need the Benalish Marshal land.
And then we leave the white open because we don't want to cast the Raise the Alarm here.
We're going to do that on
Yep.
And then step.
I would attack.
Yeah, I'm okay trading one of these guys in for 2 damage.
We also get
if we don't attack and next turn we Benalish Marshal, they're all 2.
I think don't attack is also extremely good here.
Yeah. I'm gonna actually just because of the Benalish Marshal is in our hand. And
we don't need to flip our Legion's Landing right now.
Oh yeah, the attack would have flipped this, right?
Yeah, but I don't see like we weren't gonna do anything with it.
Yeah.
I wanted to wait on the Raise Alarm just in case they have a board wipe here.
Sure. We want to do it on their end step.
Correct.
I'm going to put... Boom. Or wait. I need to put it there, right?
Boom. Yep.
All right. The fact that it always asks for priority, though, anyway, like, what is this really doing?
Because there's some phases that it doesn't stop all the time, like in upkeep, but like at instep it does.
Yeah.
But there are some like in your upkeep trigger.
Now, do we see? I've actually not had this played against me. We do see the cards that we lose, right? Yeah.
Yeah, we just don't see the one that they picked.
We don't see the one they got. Well, now we do.
Now we do. I think we could Raise the Alarm. Yeah, like that's.
Yep.
And then if this is a Spell Pierce, that would hurt. Okay, that's good. That's not the Spell Pierce.
Okay. So we're going to Benalish Marshal.
Yep.
That's definitely happening. I guess the question now is, are we swinging with the team?
Yes.
Because they can only block 1. And I would like to deal damage.
So the reason why we swing with the team is because we flip the Legion's Landing, which is good. Like we can start next turn doing that. But also with Legion's Landing flipped here with our Temple Garden, at their instep, we can Raise the Alarm.
Oh, that's true. Because we can Temple Garden, pay the 2.
Yep. So if they have a normal board wipe here, that's fine. Like they get rid of their stuff, they get rid of ours.
We actually also have the mana next turn. No, we don't. I was gonna say we have the mana to Flourish, but we're actually 1 short.
Yeah, if we just draw it, like that's like. So if they board wipe here, then we get to Raise the Alarm, and then we get to start firing off the tokens from our land.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the Adante was so good, the land.
Yeah, and that can be done anytime, right? So I feel like unless they get a whole bunch of stuff out, they block their lifelink pro, right?
They could do is hit us with a Thief of Sanity and take one of our token makers.
Oh, that would be interesting. Because now with the Benalish, they can
Oh, they're gonna bounce.
They're gonna bounce my Benalish.
They do that or the token, but if they bounce Benalish Marshal, I think we're still fine.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. Because we raise the alarm on the end step and then we...
Yep, bounce a token.
Okay, bounce the token just to kill it.
If they attack with the thief here...
Why wouldn't they?
Oh.
I would always attack with the thief. Wow, they didn't.
Oh, and now we can't raise the alarm because of the
Oh, because, yeah, we can't cast any... Yeah, we can only cast spells on sorcery speed. That jerk!
That's fine.
Now we can flourish.
So they
How do we feel
block...
about flourishing?
I'm not against flourishing.
Because they'll have to double block.
They have to double block or like...
Or
they lose all
double
of them.
chump.
But you could also do it next turn, like raise the alarm here with a Danto, and then next turn.
Oh, raise the alarm now and then a Danto. Because this is an ability, so this doesn't affect this.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah, it's only casting of spells. So raise the alarm and then setting up a really big flower or flourish next turn.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. I'm with it. I'm hip.
Because in Hearthstone, when you bounce a token, the token just goes back to your hand, right?
Yeah. So like, let's say you were to do some card that made 1/1s or something, and then somebody vanished. You would get those 1/1s as cards. They essentially, while they're on, like all tokens have a mana cost to them and everything. Like if you hover over them, they're like a full card.
Because they're usually other cards too, right? Like in their own.
Sometimes a token creates a card. Like the Spiked Ridge Steed created a Stegodon that was actually a 4-mana card.
Well, and Magic's starting to do that with the new Ajani from the core set. They make Ajani's Pride Mates.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the cat that gets bigger when you gain life.
Yep.
This isn't your average
I think it has to be a +2 here,
isn't it?
which is very good for us.
Yeah, I mean they can't -4 and kill both their guys.
And then we Adanto. I'm trying to do math. Okay,
Okay.
I think we have lethal.
I've got time.
Yeah.
Lethal.
Well, because we'll have 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 25, 29. We'll have 29 swinging. Play the top deck one?
Did you make the token at the end of turn?
I did.
Okay, I just looked away for the second. Oh yeah, we just definitely.
I play the top decked one for maximum tiltage.
I wish it showed that we, like in Hearthstone, where you saw like where the card went in their hand.
Yeah, there needs to be a little actual history thing because you have to like hover over the thing and then.
Yeah, like it doesn't show that. That's the one thing they really want to add. Plus a friends list. And you talked about like how it rearranges your hand. That was another big thing too. Is like we want a friends list. Like they need to add a little more to the client. But remember, this is still in beta.
Yep.
So that's what I always tell people is
it
like
is
throwing that beta.
Technically still beta.
I think they're doing the math here, and they're like, "Oh,
I think they realize that death is imminent."
And we'll all go through. Perfect. This is a really good Sorcerous Spyglass.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, because they got two.
Well, they probably have big Teferi as well.
Yeah. All right, so that goes in. Kraul Harpooner to maybe deal with thieves.
Yeah, we gotta get rid of them.
All of them.
2 or 3's fine. Like it's not like
3's okay.
Like their whole deck.
Do we want a Ceratops because they are blue?
See, this is the
They're
problem.
not really like a counter blue though.
Correct.
Right? Yeah.
But I still like it because of like Teferi.
That's true. You can't bounce it.
Correct.
Right.
Do you want Demystifies? Like I know they play Search for Escanta like we see.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they play anything else. I think no.
Search
Demystify
didn't seem like that big of a deal to me. I think I don't want to ruin my own strategy trying to counter theirs.
Yeah, and I think that's a giant thing that newer Magic players do.
Yeah. Like I don't want to end up having to cut a bunch of things that make things because we're putting in all these counters, right? Like our deck already won.
Yeah.
All right, so I think we could probably cut some of the top end.
A couple, like 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Maybe 1 or 2 of these.
I would say
of
1.
these?
I think this is one game where we really want it.
Do we want to cut a Dauntless?
Yes.
Okay. I'm actually thinking we can go to 1 Kraul Harpooner. I don't think we need, or sorry, 2 of them. I don't think we need 3.
That's fine. Yeah.
And then where else do we make a cut?
I'll do Benalish Marshal.
Okay.
Because of like they have so much direct damage stuff.
Sure.
They could have bounced it there. They could have Rascus could tip. They could cast down.
Mm-hmm.
So it's much better for us to like have them use it on our tokens.
Yeah.
And since we're getting stuff out of it.
By the way, chat room, I see you. We're just recording this video for YouTube's as well. Speaking of, for the YouTube audience, anybody watching, if you want to watch this live, twitch.tv/WheelieDills. We do it on Thursdays.
Remember, you're on the draw.
Yeah. And we do have a turn 1 play and essentially a turn 2 play with
Legion's Landing would be my turn 1 play.
Yeah.
Because if you can get another land into Saproling Migration, then we can get that Legion's Landing flipped.
I'm kind of okay with this. It's a little sketchy, but we have a 2-drop, a 2-drop,
it's
1-drop.
very risky.
You want to just let's just show our YouTube audience how this might go down?
Yeah, we can. Yeah.
All right. Also, on the draw is an important factor. You can keep 1 or 2 lands a lot more often.
And since we can see
based on what the rest of the hand is, obviously, and if our hand was all Conclave Tribunals and History of Benalia, we'd never keep, right? Like
no, and especially like this hand's really like they get duress here. They also like now they're not going to duress here, but they have like Thought Eraser in their deck sometimes too.
I'm sure this deck is running Thought Eraser.
That's the draw I wanted.
We're gonna do that on turn 1 then, right?
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Well, are you sure actually we don't want to just do this on turn 1, do this on turn 2 with this?
That's fine. Or just the opposite.
Because
yeah, like
this
that's
instantly gets us a 1/1 that we can start chipping away.
The only thing I thought of is flower now into the land into Woodland Champion, and then that makes a lot of other things better. But
that's actually interesting too.
Like
we flower now, then we get Woodland Champion, and then we can Legion's Landing and Dauntless on turn 3, even if we don't get another land, right?
Yeah, but it's just if they get rid of their Woodland Champion, we're pretty sad.
Yeah, but if we don't, we're pretty stoked.
Oh yeah,
and we probably win.
Oh, yeah.
I think I'd like to take the chance of. All right, we're grabbing a Plains as well. I think I'd like to take the chance of a win.
If that was a spell pierce, that would have been bad news.
Yeah, that would have sucked ass. But I generally am of the mindset in card games, make them have it.
Yeah, me too.
You know what I mean? It's I don't want to play around unless I literally have a read on their hand and I know they have that card. It's I don't want to just always assume, because it's kind of funny when you're playing a card game and you're assuming they have it. It's almost like even if they don't have it, they have it. You know what I mean?
I do both.
You're almost putting the card into their hand that they don't actually have. You know what I'm saying?
And you're playing around them. If they're not, you're like, well, they may just have it, so I might as well accept. And then they may draw into it. Or
in the scenarios where they don't have it, which is most of the time, it's almost like you've given them that card because you're not playing a thing you would have done. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like the effect of that card is already happening even though they don't have that card.
There's the
hero. So this is the mid-rangey thing that we were playing, right? Esper mid-range?
They didn't add any cards except new lands.
To the Esper mid-range?
Correct.
Yeah. So how about flower, grab something, Saproling?
Yeah.
You like it?
Yeah, I think it's good. And then that means too, we can flip our Legion's Landing.
There's no reason to grab Forest Series there.
Yeah, we don't need not at all. And then actually, because we would want that triple green just in case we get the Benalish Marshal.
Yeah. All right. So let's get this bad boy going.
We also can attack here.
Yes, we can.
Yeah, the hero deck, they're still very good. They just didn't add new cards.
Sure. But it was already a solid deck.
Yeah. The deck, it was tons of. We saw tons of it in the Mythic Championship. It was one of the decks that made it to the finals, but it did get second.
Oh. Goodbye.
This isn't a fight you can win.
They're gonna bounce our
Goodbye,
Woodland.
Woodland.
That's more like it.
And I'm wondering, I don't think they would attack with it, right? Because they don't want us to double block and kill it.
Okay, so what do you think here? I have a couple of plays I see.
I like Woodlands into Legion's Landing, or I like just History of Benalia.
Okay, so Woodland into Legion's Landing. Do you want to do anything after it?
What do you mean? I only have 3 mana.
Well, with Conclave Tribunal.
Oh, I see what you're saying. We can then Conclave Tribunal this thing or this thing?
I would do Hero of Precinct 1 because Teferi can't bounce anything
Yeah,
next
Teferi
turn.
can't do anything anymore.
And then we just attack into it.
Okay, I like it. Oh yeah, because we'll exactly have 4 when we do this, right?
Yep. And they have no mana up.
Yeah. Convoke is like so
It's
good.
the token way. Yeah, it's made for tokens. Like there's so many. Like every time they have Convoke, it's just a very good token strategy.
Yeah.
Yep. Perfect.
Wonka in chat says, I agree. Often if you make them have it, then they use it so you can progress your game plan afterwards.
True.
That's true too. It's like if you just never play a card because they have a thing that counters your card, it's like you're never doing anything, you're never winning. You're never putting forth your strategy and doing what your deck does.
I can see them wipe the board here, but they don't have the mana for a Kaya's Wrath.
There's levels to it too, right? Like if you have 2 big threats and you know they have an answer to, but they only have 1 answer, you play the lesser of the big threats first. Force them to answer that one, right?
And I think it's also good knowing what their outs are.
Sure.
If you know their deck list pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Like you and I could both probably name their full 75 almost of this our opponent. Oh my gosh.
Ooh.
Act of desperation. A main phase chemistry,
No,
would say.
I am not making this up as I go.
Yeah.
Desperate.
Ooh. We could play this and Loxodon right now, right? But we would rather attack.
I would rather get rid of that Teferi.
Yeah.
I would also like History of Benalia here because we know they can't counter it right now.
Yeah, it's true. This is a good time to just throw it out there.
But you could also put a Dauntless Bodyguard on the Woodland Champion, but us having a backup Woodland Champion.
Actually, I like that. Woodland Champion and then Dauntless Bodyguard this Woodland Champion.
Yeah, that's fine.
That seems really good, actually. And how do you feel about how do you feel about face with this Woodland Champion and triple attack the Teferi with the 1/1s? I guess no. I guess it doesn't matter how we do it, right?
No, I think that's perfect.
You want to do it that way?
Yes, I think that's the better way because if you attack Woodland Champion at Teferi and the 3 at the face, then they can just chump block Teferi and save it.
That's true. Yeah.
So
You're right. Yeah.
We get
This
no
is the
matter
way to do it, so that we always kill the Teferi and always deal.
Yeah, that's perfect. And we get to flip.
Yeah, we get Andante.
And also, I would play your other Dauntless Bodyguard on the other Woodland here too.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, because now we have a Danto. Chump block with 3 damage, still lose the bro.
And then if they don't have the mana yet for Cry because Cry costs double black, but it would hurt. But
Well, even if they board wipe us, we can always save our champions, right?
Yes. And that's the good part. So I don't know. They could have a Kaya's Wrath.
Oh, okay. So, Dauntless Bodyguard these bad boys.
Yep.
In response,
They may scoop here.
well, they're gaining life though.
No, they only gain life when they destroy their own creatures.
Oh, you controlled. Oh.
Yeah. Which is weird because that means
In
you're destroying your own
response.
creatures too. Like it's like a weird.
Yeah, and they just basically spent their whole turn killing 3 tokens.
Yeah.
And opting. Why would you
Opting.
opt now?
And now we can History of Benalia into 4, 7.
Yeah.
I think it's better. Like I could talk about like a History of Benalia here into a Venerated Loxodon, but I think it's like the discussion we have of like, let's make them have it.
Yeah, like I'd rather just hit him for 7 than lock
Yeah,
it on.
half their life total.
I mean, we literally set up lethal next turn.
And then we have the Adonto land to continue making 1/1s.
Mm-hmm.
This would be the one time like it would be okay to cast a Venerated Loxodon for 5,
Sure.
but we also make a history
So
token.
the only thing that could really stop us here is another oath. Oh, they can minus this.
If
But
I were you,
we still
I'd
have
just
the
surrender.
4/4,
Oh, I do love a good
Yep.
death.
and it'll be a 5/5 next turn.
Yep, and I would just attack here.
Yeah, let's just swing in.
And then what happens is
I'm not gonna hit this. I'm gonna hit this.
No, never. No.
I'm gonna hit this face up here.
They
This
go to
Liliana over this Liliana. Can we
I
just
was
play this
really-
for 5?
No. Because
No?
right now, and we
Oh,
they
we can
have to
Adonto
have
at
us
the end
go.
of the turn, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
And we could have Adonto now to put in another damage, but that's why I was really hoping you would have drew like a Legion's
Yeah,
make
it's,
one more token
it's
because
more important to Adonto at the end of the turn to always have the thing, though, right?
Yeah.
If
Well, no,
another
I was
oath
saying during our
happens.
turn it could have been lethal.
Good
Sure,
help
sure,
is
sure.
easy
So if we
to
would have had
find.
another token maker.
Oh, yeah, if we'd had another token creater.
Mm-hmm. And
Which
that's
would have
what
only
right
been the
now-
Legion's landing, right? Because the other token creators would have just been lethal on their own.
Yeah.
Oh, bouncy bounce.
So we have nothing to cast. That's fine. This is
But
fine.
this will be a 4/2, which will have to be chump blocked.
And then we get in with the 1/1
And then we
Adonto.
get in with the Adonto token, yeah.
Yep.
Here we go.
And we can play a Woodland Champion as well.
Yeah, and this is like a big thing too. If we just draw, oh, they're bouncing the
They're
token.
bouncing the token! That was a really
Let's
expensive
slow this
token bounce,
down.
though. They lose 1 Tefari. They pay 3 to bounce a 2/2.
So 6 mana, they got rid of 2 things.
I'll protect you.
Now we make the Adonto. We lose our History of Benalia because it has no knights to palm.
Make the token. Boo!
Okay, I can see Woodland here into Venerated Loxodon.
Okay. I'm with it.
You can either do that or make an Adonto Vanguard token, or activate the Adonto at the end
I
of turn.
like the Loxodon. It's a 4/4 as well.
Yeah, it gives them another body to have to deal with.
Yeah. So white, green.
Boom.
I'm
I
gonna
would just
keep
keep
this.
it in hand.
There's
Yeah.
no reason to play this for us, right?
Nope, not at all. So they would have to get rid of both. They would have to get rid of all of our things
My
here.
opponent is fighting valiantly, though. I gotta give him credit.
Is the Liliana a neck 4, right? Yeah.
Rise
Yeah.
and
The
shine.
sacrifice. So they can do it next turn.
Here
So they
goes
have to get
nothing.
rid of one of the guys to survive in the event.
But they're gonna have to kill something here because these can only chump block, and then 4/4 gets through, or double block, and then these 2 get through. Okay, now they've got 3 blockers.
And then they're gonna make a 1/1 from
Yeah. Oh, and bounce. Oh.
Trust me. You'll thank
If
me
I were them, I would just draw a card here. Like they have
Oh,
enough
because now they have
blockers
4
that-
blockers? No, they're
Not
bouncing.
so fast.
That's yep. 1, 2, and then number 3.
Hmm.
Do you want to flourish here?
Yeah.
Make them block everything.
4/4 and a 6/6.
The
So they'd
only
have to
thing is I
double
see.
block, and then they'd have to chump block the 6/6, or they'd have to triple block the 6/6, chump block the 4/4.
Well, they would have to, but they also, if you get rid of everything, then they may neg for their Liliana, which gets their Liliana off the board.
Hmm.
But I can see a flourishing here.
No, I think we just have to.
Yeah,
We have to play the thing we got here that forces them to do stuff.
yeah, get rid of all their stuff. I wish I gave it trample.
I know, right?
Face is the place.
This is hard, man. It's hard to finish this bad boy off.
But this is good magic. This is like what I said. Like this
All
is
the
why I like.
Tefaris, man. Oh. They're just
Plays
gonna
his turn too.
double chump block.
And remember, for each creature that dies, he draws a card. From Liliana.
From Liliana, yeah.
Waste not
That's a good block
what
there.
death is enlightening.
I guess
And
here
they
we
have a
could have
lot
just
of
played
cards.
the forest out because we can't really threaten anything anyway.
may have
But
came
there's
back
nothing
on
we
us.
can draw that costs
that
right?
much. No.
Yeah, like there's no one single card, so it's just I guess you just keep it back so that they don't know what it is. Come on, Mix. Just die already. Oh my god.
If I
So
were
much
them-
removal.
If I were them, I would. Okay.
Smelly, but
I was gonna say just take up all your guys. I think
No
they may
time
have
for
got
a
it. I think they
Yeah, I
just
think they stabilized.
they're making the guy each turn. They're drawing a card and untapping lands.
Yeah, I don't think there's a way for us to get through anymore. We
And
don't
they're
have any
sure.
direct damage spells, so
Yeah, I would just go to the next game.
now they know what our hand is.
But
Yeah,
this
just,
gave us information that I needed.
too many Tafaris. We didn't
Well,
draw any of our sideboard cards, did we?
No, because that Sorcerous Spyglass would have been really, really good.
We just
It
stick with it.
Yeah, but what I would stick with it.
Alright.
What it told me is I didn't know if they were Hero Precinct 1 or yet,
Mhm.
because some are just like an Esper control. Like there's some lists that didn't even play Hero
They
anymore.
don't, yeah, I've seen some that don't play Thief or Hero. They just play like all the Teferi stuff, and
And it's good to know that they're that.
yeah, we basically saw the whole deck. We saw the Thought Erasures, we saw 3 Planeswalkers. They might have actually even taken the Thieves out, right? Because they're just thinking of playing more defensive strategy. The Thieves of Sanity are a little more of an offensive tool. Well, we get to go first this time too, sucker. And we actually have a good hand because we have a Sorcerous Spyglass and a Flower and a History and a Saproling.
This is good.
Snap keep.
Pretty snappy.
Shall we just pay 2 in Flower or?
Absolutely. This is one where our life total, like, they're not gonna do little by little.
Well, yeah, we were at 18 in that last game.
Yeah.
They were at 2. They won.
They were just gonna make a lot of History of Benalia or Hero Precinct 1 tokens.
Yeah.
Just go pretty wide.
I mean,
Yeah, any land doesn't matter.
I will take a forest this time because we already do have the 3 white, and maybe if we draw like a Saproling and a Woodland,
Yeah,
want to be able to play both of them.
It happened that one time.
Yeah. Let's go. Well, do we? Yeah, we don't want to source.
Yeah, definitely. Because what happens here too, we get to do our thing and probably like history next turn.
Mm-hmm.
And if they play a Teferi and bounce something, we can still look at their hand and name that Teferi.
Mm.
It also, we get to see more cards with waiting longer on the Spyglass. Because right now we'd probably see a few lands, and then once we get like 2 turns, we could see a little bit more information.
So this is look at an opponent's hand and then choose a card name, whether it's in their hand or not.
Correct.
Just any card name.
Yep.
So we'd want to do the bouncing Teferi every single time, right?
Yeah, more than likely.
Or do we care about, like, I would guess they're only running 1 or 2 Lilianas though, right? Because that deck runs 4 Teferis and
They
like
may
1
have-
Liliana.
Looks like a Teferi in hand now, but they don't have a blue. Yeah, I think this is fine. And I wouldn't attack here because now that we've played out, like, they know we don't have a pump spell, and
Sure.
a lot of these decks don't have anything like that. So I think
We just
This
have
is
to
a-
hope that this turn kind of sucks.
Oath of Kai.
Fine.
That's fine. They'll get rid of our knight. And hopefully we get like a token maker that's like 2 minutes.
Well, we can do that. I feel like we might as well, right?
Yeah, I think that's fine. Because what this deck sometimes does is they'll play the bounce to fairy after the 3-mana one and bounce back their Oath of Kai. So they
Sure.
can always and
Well,
then
we can
now
Spyglass now.
I did the math wrong. Yeah, I would Spyglass now.
Okay.
I thought we were 1 mana off. Perfect.
Ooh, there you are, buddy.
Perfect. So we just name here Teferi Time
Time
Raveler.
Raveler.
Boom. That
That
cries pretty
shit
big for
doesn't
me.
do nothing. Does it
That
still do its
cry.
sorcery thing though?
Yeah, he still gets the static ability,
Yeah.
but they may just cry here, but they no, because we would get to keep stuff. Search for Escanta or the new card we don't know about.
Yeah, this would only kill 2 things, and it would kill his own thing, right? So
I think we attack here.
I feel like that seems like a plan. Swing with the team.
Yeah.
Opponent's at 23, which is a little annoying.
But where they don't have a lot to do in hand. Because what's really awkward about this deck is they could cry the Carnarium, but they also get rid of their hero precinct one. So it kind of like, and we get to keep our guys. Like, we get to keep half of ours.
So what's the other Kaya spell that they cast? Kaya's Wrath?
Yeah, Kaya's Wrath. It's a
sorcery, right?
Yep, 2 black, 2 white. Let's cast it
in response.
Yep. And that's why they like that would have screwed us up with their Teferi, but they did not do that. This would be a good flower flourish.
In response. I feel like I have to do this every time in response.
Yep.
I have to tap my glasses. Push them up on my nose.
Like push them up. Like that's what I always felt like.
In response. No creatures in there.
So I would be totally okay with you Kraul Harpooning in here. Do you know why? Like what changed?
What do you mean?
Like what? Like do you see their graveyard? Like do you see what they discarded to search for Escanta in the beginning?
Oh, a thief. Yeah.
So they may have a thief, and we may like do that, but I like just playing the.
This would have to be the thief, right?
Well, no, because if we Kraul Harpooner here, we just get another body on board.
Well, what I'm saying is this card here would have to be a thief.
Correct.
Because there's only one card we don't know of.
I just think they don't want thief right now, so the ability, but we may have to force them to play that private Carnarium. So it may be okay to keep the Kraul.
So the reason why I would keep the Kraul Harpooner back is that we already have a pretty big board.
That's fine. Yeah, what's it called?
I don't want to get Wrath, but Wrath would have to be literally this card too. Like there's one card. They have one card right now.
We don't want to overextend. I think it's good. Yeah, I think holding on to
the thing is like, but if they make some blocks here, and then the math dictates that we could then set up essentially lethal. This doesn't matter.
What did they block?
Double blocking. Yeah, they're double blocking.
Yeah, we get rid of both. That's fine. And then they're gonna cry, but then we get to keep our 4/4. So they have to have a board wipe here.
Yeah,
like a full-on board wipe, not just a.
This is 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't think we need the Kraul Harpooner right now.
Yeah, I would keep it. Yeah, just keep it. Because if they board wipe here, we just have at least have a follow-up.
Yeah, that went into their hand though.
And there's a cry.
Yeah, wow. The cry was going to kill the Kraul Harpooner regardless, right? So, all right, now we want it.
Yeah, I was gonna say play it now. If they only have like a one, like get rid of one thing. Yeah, I think that's pretty good.
All right, last time we got our opponent down to 2 life, we couldn't finish them off.
And now it's 1. And I think the Sorcerous
Spyglass. This time, the Sorcerous Spyglass may seal the deal. Seal that deal. Seal that deal. Seal that deal.
If they just have another board wipe, that would hurt, but that means they would have to have. Like,
well, the only board wipe that would work is the Wrath, right?
Yeah, the Kaya's Wrath, that would be it. If they play Cleansing Nova or Time Wipe, that's other board wipes, but they're 5 mana, which they could have. But yeah, that Sorcerous Spyglass did it.
Yeah, I feel like my opponent.
See, that actually would have helped them if they would have thought Erasered and
we should attack this.
If they would have got our Raise the Alarm, remember?
Yeah.
And then we wouldn't have been able to cast that with the Teferi out.
Yeah, that's true.
So like because
they could have just played it just for that other ability. Hey, we're gold. Moving on up.
I think this is where I am right now. I think I'm gold 4.
Yeah. Oh, I got a Corset and I got a Cavalier of Thorns.
Oh man, that's a really good card.
How do they just give me a mythic rare?
It's just random, and you just roll really well. Oh,
wow, 5/6 with reach. When it enters the battlefield, reveal the top 5 cards of my library. Put a land card from the one. Oh my god. This card seems like a really good card in Commander.
I put a 3 of it or 2 of in the Gate Shift deck from last week.
You may exile if you do put another target card from your graveyard on top of your library. Just draw that card again, whatever that might be. All right, well, there you go. Selesnya Tokens, ladies and gentlemen. Just go wide, smash their face in. Lots of decisions, though. Lots and lots of decisions. Which, to me, is like the funnest part of Magic. It's like, we so far, though, like, we haven't really played any brain-dead decks, except maybe, I guess you could say, the mid-range. What was the mid-range deck we played with all the Trample and the Riot and stuff?
Oh, the dinosaurs? We played like dinosaurs. But
yeah, I mean, it's kind of like put stuff, or I guess we were calling it hero, but really it was just put a thing into play and hit their face.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this was like, okay, when do you buff? When do you save things? When do you hold things back? How do you make the attacks? Yeah, there's a lot going on in this. So, but like you said, cheap deck. People looking for cheap decks that they can climb with. There you go, Selesnya Tokens.
For science!